I'm not exactly saying that you're gonna drop dead if you don't have a hobby, but people who have hobbies are more likely to lead enriching and more joyous lives, which can lead to a longer lifespan. Everybody knows of the two stereotypes of old people in our lives. There's the lovely, happy grandma, grandpa who makes things like knitting or pie or something, and we all enjoy their company and they have something occupied. You can tell that they're happy. And then there's the grumpy old evil people that just don't seem to have anything going on. They like retired and they just had nothing else to do and they were so angry with their lives. And I feel like this is more than just a stereotype. I feel like it has a lot to do with how people spend their time and do hobbies in their middle lifetime. And so I'm going to talk about how hobbies are an enjoyable outlet to do outside of work, and they can prevent mental issues later down the road, such as depression and even dementia. So to start off, hobbies are incredibly enjoyable. I really enjoy doing several hobbies like art and crocheting. Throughout high school, it was a passive income for me because my art teacher would just throw my art out there and I wouldn't have to do anything, it would just get sold. But it can happen with any hobby, and you don't have to make money off of your hobby. It's really something that you want to enjoy. But part of it being enjoyable can too come from being a monetary gain. And so hobbies are just a great time. They're a great opportunity to connect with the community, and people who connect with the community usually lead happier lives since they are making more friends and getting more out there. And it could be anything. It could be coin collecting, it could be car interest or woodworking, and so that's all good and well. But hobbies can end up creating way too much stress and financial burden than they're worth. And I say to that it's just something that you have to monitor. Everything comes with moderation. And a 2022 Life Enhancement article says that one good example of this happening, of things getting too out of hand, is maybe coin collecting. It isn't inherently harmful to anyone around you, but once a coin collector tries to prioritize their hobbies and over their financial and emotional dedications, their life can just start to lose success and they can start spiraling out of control, which just gets really out there. The article recommends that if you have these problems, you should go seek professional help because it is a very unlikely scenario and it's disordered at a certain point. So I recommend, pick another hobby. But if you aren't overwhelmed already with a hobby, you should do one because many articles show that it can help you dealing with depression, and it can also prevent you from ever getting depression. A longitudinal cohort study in 2020 shows that lots of stats on this. One such stat is that hobbies are associated with a decrease in depression by about 30%. And people with depression who don't have hobbies yet were shown to have over a 272% increase of odds that they'll recover from their current depression once they picked up a hobby. And it was some inverse relation stat, so it was very interesting to read. I didn't fully understood how it works, but it was from a government source, so I believe it. And the Journal of Epidemiology also found that having hobbies allowed people to live longer. It showed a decrease in not only the risk of mortality, but apparently it prolonged the ability for ADL and IADL, which the article defines as activities of daily living. In your later life, people lose the ability to do certain daily tasks that are necessary to do well, like cleaning up after yourself or doing the dishes or even showering. So prolonging these abilities just through any hobby and like mental engagement in a task like that can really help you out in the long term in your life. You might not have any depression or any desire to pick up a new hobby, but if you don't have the time in your day, you might want to consider that that's something you might want to take time out for, especially since having a hobby will make you more likely to not develop dementia in the future. I know that that's a huge stretch, but And it's not exactly going to cure dementia either, but a lot of people have shown that it has decreased the chances. For example, the Journal of the American Society on Aging in 2011 proved that such engagement in hobbies like that can help restore order in the brain in people who may have had hobbies in the past that started to degrade over time. Doing these ritualistic tasks that they have ingrained in their mind for so long can help dementia be less strong and less harmful to people because they have tasks that they're still capable of doing. It's the thing that stays the longest in terms of memory, as well as your earliest memories of your parents and such. The Journal of Epidemiology also found this data between 2006 and 2016. It might be outdated, but it was a 10-year study, and I feel like it was pretty good. And the hobby engagement in mid to late life was strongly associated with dementia not happening. So yeah, it's good that we can understand people and their conditions and help them through abilities that they'll retain. A lot of people think this will never happen to me, but oftentimes that's exactly when it's going to happen to you when you least expect it. So it's good to be aware of these things. To conclude, I've talked about different hobbies that can be an outlet for your passion or your ideas and how you can meet up with other people, and how hobbies can act as an antidepressant and can be life enhancing. So hobbies are an amazing outlet for passionate people to connect with each other, and if you have hobbies or not, I encourage you to find some new activity to do outside of your normal schedule, or to recommend a hobby to a friend. It will strengthen communities and make our lives better. Thank you very much.